Hi there, I am Scott Telek, author of The Swithin, the Arthurian book series bursting with crunchy goodness. And we're continuing our guided reading of Sir Thomas Malory's Morte d'Arthur, so let's continue. You are full young and tender of age, said Arthur, for to take so high an order on you. Sir, said Griflet, I beseech you make me a knight. Sir, said Merlin, it were great pity to lose Griflet, for he will be a passing good man when he is of age, abiding with you the term of his life. And if he adventure his body with yonder knight at the fountain, it is in great peril if ever he come again, for he is one of the best knights of the world and the strongest man of arms. Well, said Arthur, so at the desire of Griflet the king made him knight. Now, said Arthur to Griflet, since I have made you knight, you must give me a gift. What you will, said Griflet. You shall promise me by the faith of your body, when you have jousted with the knight at the fountain, whether it fall you to be on foot or on horseback, that right so you will come back again unto me without making any more debate. I will promise you, said Griflet, as you desire. Okay, so Griflet, who we barely heard mention, wants Arthur to make him a knight so he can go avenge the death of the knight he serves, Miles, who we've never heard of before. And I have to tell you that this sort of thing is one of the challenges I face as I write my book series, because I have to introduce Griflet early enough so we have some investment with him before his big moment in the story. And I also have to introduce and develop Miles to the point where his death will have some meaning by the time we get to it. So that's one of the things I do in my books. I look forward to what's coming and develop the characters in advance so that they have some meaning by the time we get to them. So Merlin takes Arthur aside and says it'd be a shame to lose Griflet because in a few years he'll be a great knight. And indeed, Griflet is by Arthur's side through the rest of the saga, although he's only kind of around and never a focal point. So Arthur makes Griflet promise to give him a gift in exchange for making him a knight. And that's that he will come back after he makes just one joust with the knight, even if the fight isn't finished. And this is how he hopes to get Griflet back in one piece. The scene is much more fleshed out in the post-Vulgate, where Merlin tells Arthur that Griflet will die if he faces the knight on his own. And it's Merlin's idea to make Griflet promise to come back after the first joust as a way of preserving his life, because if he fought longer, he would indeed die. And by the way, the knight at the fountain is King Pellinore, the one who was following the questing beast and who Arthur tangled with earlier. He's been jousting with any knight that want to pass that way and has been hanging the shields of the knights he defeated on a nearby tree as his trophies. So let's continue on now and hear how Griflet does. Then took Griflet his horse in great haste, and dressed his shield, and took a spear in his hand, and rode a great wallop till he came to a fountain. And there saw a rich pavilion, and thereby under a cloth stood a fair horse, well saddled and bridled, and on a tree a shield of divers colours, and a great spear. Then Griflet smote on the shield with the butt of his spear, that the shield fell to the ground. With that the knight came out of the pavilion, and said, Fair knight, why smote you down my shield? For I will joust with you, said Griflet. It is better you do not, said the knight, for you are but young and late made knight, and your might is nothing to mine. As for that, said Griflet, I will joust with you. That is me loath, said the knight, but since I must needs, I will dress me thereto. Of whence be you, said the knight? Sir, I am of Arthur's court. So the two knights ran together, that Griflet's spear all to shivered, and therewithal he smote Griflet through the shield and the left side, and broke the spear, that the truncheon stuck in his body, that horse and knight fell down. So Griflet goes and bangs on one of the shields up on the tree, and when Pellinore comes out, he says he wants to joust. Now Pellinore, who you recall we said is coded to have great honor and nobility, says, in a nutshell, Better you don't joust with me, because you're inexperienced and I will whip your ass. Griflet says he'll do it anyway. Pellinore asks where he's from, and Griflet says King Arthur's court. Then on the very first joust, Pellinore impales Griflet and leaves him with a broken off lance sticking right through him. So first time out of the gate, first big fight, and Griflet gets it. And that's it till the next chapter, so we will pick it up there.